Okay, so here's our game plan. We've got 4 groups to explore. First, words for criticism. Then, words for describing people. After that, we'll look at words for clear ideas versus confusing ones. And finally, we'll cover words about actions and what happens because of them. Sound good? Let's jump in.
First up is a group I call the criticism crew. All of these words are about showing you don't approve of something. But here's the cool part. They're not all the same. They exist on a scale, all the way from a super gentle warming to a really harsh public teardown.
Let's look at this spectrum. Think of it like turning up the volume on your disapproval. You might admonish a friend for being a few minutes late. It's gentle, like, hey, try to be on time. But you would rebuke an employee for a big mistake, which is much sharper, more direct. Then you have denounce, which is when you publicly call out something as wrong, like denouncing a policy you disagree with. Censure is even more serious. It's a formal, official statement of disapproval, something a professional organization might do. And at the very top, you have castigate. That's to criticize someone incredibly severely, almost to punish them with words. See? 5 words, but they all fit on one simple scale.
Okay, this is a really common mix-up, so let's clear it up right now. You censure a person for something they did wrong. It's all about expressing strong disapproval, but you censor content, like a book or a movie, by removing parts of it. So just remember, censure is for people, censor is for things. It's that simple.
To finish up our first group, let's talk about the word importune. This basically means to beg or ask for something over and over and over again, to the point where it gets really annoying. You know, like a little kid who just will not stop asking for ice cream. That kid is importuning you. Or think about a salesperson who keeps calling you even after you've said you're not interested. They're importuning you.
All right, so that's the criticism crew. Now let's switch gears and move on to our second group. This section is all about words we use to describe people, their personalities, their attitudes. These are fantastic words for making your own English sound a lot more specific and detailed.
Okay, this trio, these 3 words trip up so many people. Let's break it down. An amiable person is just a friendly, pleasant person. It's about their personality. An amicable situation is a peaceful one, like an amicable divorce where nobody is fighting. It describes situations, not people. And finally, an amenable person is someone who is open to ideas, they're willing to agree. It's about their response to a suggestion. So remember, a person is amiable, a situation is amicable, and someone's response is amenable.
Both of these words mean careful, but the reason why a person is careful is totally different. A conscientious person is careful because they have a strong sense of duty. They do their work carefully because they feel it's the right thing to do. A meticulous person, on the other hand, is careful because they love getting every little detail perfect. So think, conscientious is driven by duty, meticulous is driven by detail.
You ever know someone who's happy one second and then suddenly angry the next and you have no idea why? That person is capricious. It means they're unpredictable, impulsive, they change their mind for no real reason. The weather can be capricious too. And here's a great little trick to remember it. Think of car price. You know how car prices can go up and down and seem totally random? They're unpredictable, capricious.
All right, on to group number 3. This one is all about how we talk about ideas. We're going to create a really clear contrast here. On one side, words that mean something is super clear, and on the other, words that mean something is fuzzy and confusing.
This is a great way to knock out 5 words at once. So on the clear team, we have manifest. If something's manifest, it's just obvious for everyone to see. A comprehensive plan is one that includes everything, all the details. And a compelling story is so interesting and believable, you just can't ignore it. Now, for the vague team. A nebulous idea is hazy and unclear, kind of like a cloud. And fragmentary evidence is incomplete. It's like you only have a few pieces of a big puzzle. So you see the difference? Clear and complete versus hazy and incomplete.
Here are 2 more words that both describe a lack of something good, but they're different. Prosaic means something is just plain dull and boring. It has no imagination. Think of a really boring, repetitive job. That's prosaic. Now, facile, a facile argument is one that sounds too simple because it's ignoring all the complicated parts. It's a shallow, surface-level explanation. Both are negative, but one means dull and the other means too simple.
This word is actually super easy to remember if you just break it into its parts. You have in, which means not, and consequence, which means a result or importance. So something that is inconsequential is simply not important. It has no real result. For example, whether you use a blue pen or a black pen to take notes is totally inconsequential. It doesn't matter.
And that brings us to our final group, action words. These are all verbs that describe causing some kind of change, and that change can be for the better or for the worse.
Let's look at two powerful verbs that are pretty much opposites. To exacerbate a problem means to make a bad situation even worse. It's like pouring salt on a wound. If you shout during an argument, you're probably going to exacerbate the tension. The opposite of that is to satiate a need. That means to satisfy it completely. After a long hike, a huge bottle of water will satiate your thirst. One makes things worse, the other makes them fully satisfied.
The word entangle can be used in two ways. Literally, a fish can get entangled in a fishing net. It's physically twisted up and can't get out. But we also use it metaphorically. You can get entangled in a complicated lie or entangled in someone else's drama. In both cases, the feeling is the same. You're trapped, and it's really hard to get free.
The word blight actually comes from a disease that kills plants. But most of the time, we use it as a metaphor for something that ruins or destroys. Just look at this sentence. A factory closing down can be a blight on a town. It ruins the economy, it ruins the spirit of the place. It's a really strong word for something that spoils everything. And for our last word, increment. This one's pretty straightforward. An increment is just an increase, usually a small, steady one. Think about getting a small salary increment every year. Or maybe you're adjusting a machine very carefully in small increments. It's all about that idea of adding on step by step.